Okay, so hello and welcome to yet another Gaming Masters video. Today, we're going to be covering Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now, this is going to be our gaming review episode, which is something that we don't generally do as a live commentary. And it's currently using some of our older gameplay which we have from nearer towards the launch of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which is a game made by Treyarch and published by Activision for the Xbox One, PS4, and also, of course, the PC. So, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare has been getting fairly average reviews. Nobody's been particularly outstanding by it. It's been fairly meh in terms of critic reviews so far, with guessing about 50% or so, depending on the platform, for the ratings. So I'm going to be voicing my opinions about Call of Duty so far and what my thoughts are, and giving a general opinion about the game. The campaign overall, to get started with, isn't particularly interesting. I find it very slow getting started for the first few missions, and it's got quite a few different missions in it, or objectives at least, and that is nice because it adds a bit of a length to the campaign, which, of course, some campaigns for multiplayer shooters tend to be lacking. However, one of my problems with it at the moment is that it starts off really, really slowly. So, for the first 5 or so missions, you're going to be finding, like, slugging along as such very slowly. Then it starts to pick up a bit towards the end, but not to the extent that the campaigns for Battlefield 1 have been, or Titanfall 2's campaigns have been this year. So if you're looking for a campaign storyline in Call of Duty, or a first-person shooter at least, over the next few weeks, I would highly recommend you do check out Titanfall 2 or Battlefield 1 over Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. As I previously said, I have always mainly been a Battlefield-focused person, but I have put in quite a few hours into Call of Duty Infinite Warfare now, and I would still recommend Battlefield 1 over Call of Duty at this moment in time. I think that some of the multiplayer can obviously be fixed over time. It's something that can always be developed, which is, of course, nice about multiplayer, because the storyline won't really change ever. Might be a few bug fixes or something like that they might work on, but the actual storyline itself won't be changing at all, unless you're talking about zombies, which is continuously added on. So that's something that in some ways I'm hoping for, because the multiplayer can be improved quite significantly with patches. It can be improved, and they can do better maps with DLCs and things like that. And if they really wanted to, not that Call of Duty really do this, but if they really wanted to, they could possibly even rework some of the maps. Call of Duty don't typically do that, that's more of a Battlefield thing. But that is something that they could do if they wanted to. So, I think that the multiplayer time to kill is fairly fast in comparison to some of the other Call of Duties. But then it's it's a difficult one with the time to kill on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, because some Call of Duty games are very, very fast. And this seems fairly fast, but it seems to be balanced as well. I think that that's the difference with the time to kill for this, because Black Ops 3, you have a look at Black Ops 3, and time to kill on that felt fairly fast, and so did Advanced Warfare as well, and Ghosts was alright. I mean, some of the recent games, you look at the time to kill and it's noticeably slower, and then some of the other games you notice it's noticeably faster. And I think that they've now got the right balance with jetpacks and things like that. It's something that has always needed to be balanced out quite a bit, because you do have the advantage of jetpacks, and then jetpacks can run out and things like that. You can get upgrades with exosuits and whatever is featured in the game, because they've done so many different variations of the kind of like packs that you can get with jumpsuits and stuff over the past few years. So they can always improve things like that, and they can improve the balancing and map design, which is something that I don't really think is needed as much. I think that the map design, part of the thing with map design and Call of Duty is because I do have that slight Battlefield background, I look for the larger maps, and I think that this is still your average Call of Duty map size. It doesn't feel particularly big, doesn't feel particularly small. It's nothing that is gonna take away from the game, and I think that in terms of the map design, the way that the map is laid out, it seems to be fairly well done for the size of map that it is. It's a shame that they don't do larger maps, because I would really enjoy having larger maps available to me to play, because some people do prefer large maps, but then I'm not sure if that would really support the kind of like approach that the Activision team look for with Call of Duty, and also the fans as well for Call of Duty, because Call of Duty has always been a smaller franchise in terms of maps and things like that. So, oh shit, I'm stuck. That's something that can always be worked on, and it will be interesting to see what happens. The whole base of the campaign is in space, and the multiplayer maps, you don't really have anything that is actually in space combat, which is a shame. I mean, it looks like you're on planets, as you can see with this, but it's nothing like actually zero gravity kind of stuff, which would be really cool if they did have that available in the game. Obviously, at this moment in time, they don't. The multiplayer does lack innovation to an extent, which is also frustrating, because what Call of Duty really needs is something new to the franchise, and we said that years ago, around about Ghosts, when we wanted to change. We then got Advanced Warfare, and then got Black Ops, we then got this, and they've all had the same kind of principle where nothing huge has changed, it's just the movement system's changed. Nothing's changed with the multiplayer. It's strong, don't get me wrong, but it can be improved in places and have a bit more innovation with new game modes, for example, like they've done with Battlefield this year as well. The zombies theme, 1980s, feels actually quite interesting. Treyarch have always been fairly well known for their Call of Duties and things like that with zombies. Is their predominant game mode that people buy Treyarch games for. So that's done fairly well, I think. And it's the space fighter combat stuff, it would be interesting to see what would happen if that was on its own game as well for the campaign. But that's just something that can kind of like come down the line, or have a different game mode or something like that. It would be interesting to see if they did ever do that with a future title, or Activision work on something which has a space combat approach that is like its own unique IP. Obviously, that might not take off particularly well because it's nothing that Activision have really needed to do or will probably do, but it could work if they did do it on its own. And then also, as I previously mentioned, the map design seems to be fairly well done. Obviously, for the size of maps, that is quite interesting to see that the maps work, because some of the other Call of Duties that we've seen, the map design's been pretty shit, to be honest, to put it politely. So the esports teams will probably enjoy Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and we will see what happens with the COD World League, etc. over the next over the next few weeks, some months, over the until around about this time next year. Let me know what you think about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Also, let me know what you guys think about a live com review. It's something new that I've never done before. We don't really do video reviews on our channel specifically. We tend to have contributors who do them, and people like Hell5 Test who do them really, really well, and we feature on our website. So this is definitely something new for us. It's something that I wanted to try for a while, and I thought I should give it a try with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, follow, and of course, as always, subscribe. It's very much appreciated, and we will be seeing you in the next video.